Good morning, everybody. A look at what we're going to make today. Hello, Anne. Good morning, Anne.
Good morning.
Did you get here in time?
I did. It was very cold, very slippy, not very nice out there this morning.
But enough about your personality. What's the weather like?
The weather's quite cold and slippy too.
You undid that to me, didn't you?
I did rather.
Good morning, everybody. Now, Anne's going to be leading the class today. She's going to make something lovely, but we want to say a big welcome to all our new viewers, especially the ones in Australia and South Africa, New Zealand, France, Saudi Arabia, all sorts of. We're all over. You're international, you girls.
Absolutely. There's even some in Scotland.
You're all over the place.
I'm always all over the
But
place.
that's another story.
Nothing new there.
So what we're going to make today?
Right, today we're going to make this lovely little great tit.
Great tit.
Great tit, yeah. It's three-dimensional because it's got all these layers.
Yeah, yeah.
Lots of bits and pieces to stick together.
Mm-hmm.
So all you're going to need today really are the papers that you've been able to download and some of this sticky stuff to stick it together and layer it
foam
up. That's the words I was looking
and
for. Thank
glue.
you.
Let's just explain to everybody before Anne shows you the pictures. Cameraman, well, the lights
Oh, you want it on there, do you?
on us.
It was on you.
It wasn't. Well, the lights are not coherent. There's no light coming on
I
it.
don't know. Carry on.
Well, honestly,
As long as we're there, it's
the
okay.
things. Well, I don't know. He's got the light on here.
Never mind the
Technical
light, just get on with
side
it.
is rubbish as normal. Barry's here. We've not put him on microphone because nobody wants to hear that this time of the morning. Let's be honest.
I'll take the lights out so they're not
Yeah,
confused.
take that. Can you just point at which camera it is then to give us a little
Carry on.
indication?
Be a bit more professional. Carry on.
What you see is what you get. I've got to deal with you,
Very true.
And
honestly. Well, this is your first
on,
time
get on with
presenting it, isn't
That's
it?
true.
On your own, well, kind of. I won't be here one day and she'll be here doing it.
Alan, get on with
Right, I just want to say to you, if you've not already downloaded, you can go on Get Creative and there's a link there showing you where to download. If you've missed any of the weeks before, all the videos are there, all the free downloads are there, and don't forget these are free to download. So when you get to, if you want to make along with us today till 12 o'clock, then you can download them quickly. We'll give you time to do that. So Anne, when they download, what are they going to get?
Right, well that's the finished one, so we'll move that out of the way. The first sheet that you need is this one, which is a nice pink background and the bird and the holly. We're making it on A4, but once it's done you can cut it into a square, you can cut it into any shape you like, but that just gives you the flexibility to do what you want with it.
Yeah, so you can make your own craft project from that design afterwards.
Is this on card, Alan?
I've printed that on a thicker piece of card because that's the basic. The basis, you know, you need something strong to work on.
Mm-hmm.
So all the other papers I've done on thin paper, that's done on like a 160 gram card.
Okay, so 160 gram card for this one. And then we've got the first sheet with the birds on. Now these get consistently smaller as you go because we're going to layer them up. So this first one has 2 with birds and holly. This needs to be on the thinner paper. Then we've got lots and lots of bits and pieces, bits of birds, bits of holly, lots of cutting out that you're going to need to do
And
there.
I'll just give you a little tip as well. When the reason why we're doing it on thin paper is that if you do it on thick paper, when you cut around it, you'll see the white edging. So when you layer them on top of each other, you'll have this white edging going around. The thinner the paper you can use, that will just then blend into each other. So it's good to do this on like a 90 gram paper.
So
Right, that's it. I'll shut up.
that's okay. You know what you're talking about. I'm making this up as I go along. So the next sheet is a kind of an extra one that you can use if you want to. Not actually part of the birds and the holly, but it might be useful for your project as well. We've got some nice poinsettias and some more bits of holly here. And then we've got some backing papers that are made from the same design. So again, they're not part of the main project, but you can use them for any project you want. So we've got lots of little great tits. Can you have little great tits?
Well, we've got 3 in this studio at this precise moment.
Okay. Then they get a little bit smaller, slightly smaller great tits. Then even smaller great tits.
This is going downhill.
This is getting awful, isn't it? Then we've got even smaller
We've
great
got
tits.
C cups.
This is too much for Saturday morning, Alan.
And I don't know which way the bras work. Is it an A, a big?
A is smallest.
Okay, well,
Or double A is smaller.
these
So
are-
here we
these
have
are the
some double A
A.
grade.
It's all going very
And
wrong.
that's the lot.
It's all going very well. Now, Anne's going to show you the basic step-by-steps on, so you can print those out, or don't think you can watch the video at any time and just go along at your own speed. I'm going to do the same thing, as silently as possible, but I'm going to turn it into a picture. So, can we see it?
Oh yeah, sure.
I just sat there. You see, this is what I have to put up with. I'm like this, giving him a hint. Can you put the camera on? And he's going, what? Oh yeah, it's nice weather, isn't it? Dopey devil. Right, I'm just getting this a normal IKEA 3D.
Or other similar.
Other suppliers are available.
Other suppliers. Who do you think you are? Philip Schofield? Oh, that makes me Holly. Holly Willoughby.
No,
Well, that's
never.
very seasonal.
That makes you Gino. There you go. Okay, that's the task of the day. You have to do the whole demonstration
No.
in fake Italian.
No,
I'm
absolutely
going to
not.
show you how
No.
to make this a beautiful great titta.
No.
Okay. Right, you print off your pages. Well, come on, tell them. And we'll see you in a
Yes,
minute.
if you print off your pages, we'll come back to you in a few minutes and we can show you what to do.
Good morning and welcome back. Now we're going to be showing you some tips here if you want to turn it into a picture frame. I'll show you that, but we're back with Anne. How are you doing, Anne?
I'm doing fine. I'm still cutting because one of the biggest jobs on this project is all the cutting out. So I'm cutting little bits off the sheet so that I can cut nice and close to the edges
Yeah.
because I don't want a whiteboard around it because it won't look so good.
No.
And I'm just getting on with it, really.
So you've got all your bits and pieces
I've
there.
got all my bits and pieces. I've got the big ones cut out first from the first sheet, and I'm just working my way through all the holly and little bits of bird on the second sheet. And once I've cut them all out, I'm going to start sticking the foam stuff on the back so that we can
Okay.
then layer it up.
All right, brilliant. Don't forget you can make all sorts of different things from it. I just want to give you a few tips if you want to turn it into a picture. So if you just have a look at this, I've just dismantled, what do they say in these culinary shows? Deconstruct.
Deconstruct.
I've deconstructed my picture. There's various ways you can do this, put this together. So there's the basic frame. You need to choose one that's got a nice kind of depth to it. You can play about with these and get them in different ways. I'm taking the glass out, put that somewhere safe. This is the backing board, and this one also came with a mount. Now, you can do various things. So we can use imagine, I'm not going to play with the glass now, but you can put the mount back in and then you can 3D layer it. So you've got it inside the frame there, and it doesn't matter that the picture is a little bit bigger than the actual aperture there, because you can move this around to make it fit. Now, another thing you can do is you can also put your aperture over the top there like that, and you can move it around where you want it. Now, obviously the design is bigger than the aperture there, but what I like to do, I like to put the basic design there. What I would do is draw around this in a pencil so I know exactly where I want it. And then I've got my bits and pieces here, which then I will start layering up, but I shall layer them so they're coming out of the frame, so it looks like, gives it more of a 3D look. So you can start adding those layer by layer and building it up so you've got that depth still. So that will be on the bottom there as opposed to on the top. Do you understand? So this isn't up here. So you've got various options which way you want to do it. I'm not quite decided which way I'm doing it yet. I think I might do it that way.
That looks good.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I think it looks fine. But you could do it, you don't even need a frame at all if you don't want to. You could do it like that. So you could position that like that. Maybe you want to do it, turn it into like a snowstorm at the bottom. Me and my snowstorms, what am I like?
I know.
Or you can bring it up, you can do all sorts of different things. So you could have this mount so it's on the bottom and then build up from the bottom, or you could have that like that on the top, pop that in there so that you could have that mounted and you've got that depth inside there. Then you can position that so you can see more of the blue great tit there. There's various ways of doing it. I think I'm going to do it on the top, and then I'll put a little bit of foam on the top here so it allows for the glass and then the picture. I don't know, not quite decided yet, but that's the whole fun thing about getting creative together.
It is.
Yes.
Yes.
there might be a divorce soon. If you're
There
not
might.
careful.
Who knows?
I'm going to have to behave myself.
Mhm.
She's a teacher, you know. She's used to handling unruly kids.
Indeed.
So you enjoying yourself?
Yep, having a great time. I've
Good.
just got 3 holly leaves to finish cutting out, and then I'll
Okay.
start putting the foam on the back.
Now, if you're ahead of us, then this is the foam that we use here, but you can use any foam pads that you want. You just want to separate them, and we're just going to cut these into little strips. Again, if you find when you're cutting, I've took my scissors in there, and your scissors get a bit, what's the technical term?
Manky.
Manky. I use WD-40, just spray a little bit on a tissue, wipe your scissors, and within seconds they're lovely and clean, and sharp, ready to go again. Just be careful when you're wiping it. But I always keep a tin of that. It's fantastic to use, especially when you're using sticky things. What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
Are you got a double entendre there
No,
in your brain?
absolutely. No,
Are you
no.
being childish?
No,
Miss, tell him off.
Barry, don't be childish.
she's been equally charged.
Oh, was she?
Yes, I was.
Was Miss being a bit double entendre?
Just a wee bit.
Oh, cheeky. Anyway, we'll leave you to, hopefully you've done your printing now, leave you to do your cutting out. Do all the cutting out. If you're ahead of us, then you can randomly start sticking these on the back. If not, we'll come back and show you what we've done. All right, see you in a bit. How are you doing, Anne?
I'm doing fine. I've got all my bits cut out,
Okay.
and I've stuck the foam pads on the back, and I've started stripping off the backing paper from the first few so that I can get them stuck onto here
Okay,
and start layering it up.
well, off you go.
Right.
Just one little tip, if any, you can just come to me for 1 second. We're going to lay these flat, but before you stuck the pads on, if you wanted to round them off a little bit, just between your fingers, gives them a little bit. But I think this one's going to look quite nice, quite flat. But I say, if you want, you can just round them a little bit, but don't do them in one direction because you want it to kind of stick down like that. Just gives them a little bit more of a full-bodied effect. As you see, it's not laying flat, it's a little bit more
Could you
rounded.
just do that again?
What?
Just what you were just doing.
Or that?
Mhm.
Just like that. Just roll it round like so. It's best to do it before you put the pads on, but you're only doing it a little bit. Just makes it a little bit more curvature, I think is the word I'm looking for.
Curvature is a good word.
It's a good word, isn't it? Right, off you go. What do we do?
Right, so we're going to layer it up starting with the biggest one. So this is the biggest bit. It's exactly the same as the one underneath, so we can line it up perfectly, hopefully.
And one tip is if you sat down and you can stand up and see over it a little bit better.
Especially if, like me, you're slightly short.
Yes.
Yes.
Another little-
Vertically challenged,
vertically challenged, is that what you are?
definitely,
Oh,
amongst
okay.
other things. So there's the first one on. Here comes the second one. So again, I'm going to line it up, this time most of the same bits, but a few bits of holly missing. Just try and get the head and the beak lined
And
up.
that's a good tip. What you're doing there, you're doing it just gently before you stick it down. And so if you need to lift it up, you can do.
Absolutely. The other thing I tried to do when I was sticking the pads on was tried to make sure, particularly on the tail, that they're not all in the same place.
Ah,
Because I found when I tried one earlier that I'd got lots of pads in the same place and that bit of tail was getting very thick.
oh. Well, you
So
see,
there
you're
you go.
teaching me
A tip
something.
of my own there.
Ah, little tipettes.
Absolutely. Here's the third one. So again, I'm trying to line up the head and the beak and the tail, and the rest of it pretty much takes care of itself.
So this is the basics really of doing decoupage or 3D projects. Now you can use silicone if you want as well, but it's not my preferred one. I generally need to wait. I like to get it done straight away. So you're doing all right there.
I'm
I'll tell you
doing
what
fine.
we'll do. I'll let you carry on doing that,
Okay.
and I'll just show everybody what I've been doing with mine. Now I took the actual. Are you on me?
I'm on.
There you go. I've took the picture and I put this in the middle of the picture and I drew around it with a pencil and then I just cut it out, so I know that fits inside my frame now. And I've decided to do it with the image like that that's going to go over the top. So I'm doing exactly what Anne did, but this time I'm using this. Now what you could also do if you wanted to, if you didn't want to use that background there, so you wanted a blue background, let me just move that out of the way. You could also do it like that. I'm trying not to put it down because You could change the backgrounds to whatever you want by just using the main one. Instead of, you could cut that out as well if you wanted to, so you can change the background so it's like a blue one in this case. But for this exercise I'm going to keep it the same. So make sure you can stick it down if you want to, but I'm not going to bother. And then you can start layering up over the top, but going over so it's like spilling out of the frame. So that layers on there like so. There, like that. And then you just continue layering up as you go along. Like that. Try not to... See, I should have stuck it, shouldn't I? Now it's moving all over the place.
It's always easier after the event.
Yes. So that's going to layer there like that. And let's just make sure it's in the right position. Lift it up because it's not. I'm going to stick it because I find it annoying. Let's go back to Anne while I stick that.
Okay.
What are you up to, Chuck?
Well, I'm just sticking the last bits of wing onto the bird. I've done all the basic bits. I've done this little extra bit of head here. I've got a bit of wing here. I've got one more piece of wing to do. And I'm finding with the wings that if you look at not just the shape but where this line of embroidery goes, that helps a bit with the lining up. Once I've done that, I'll start putting all the holly on. Most of it fits with the patterns that are there, but there are one or two extra bits for sticking around the top here.
Okay, just pop back to me if you can, Barry. I've just got a little bit of glue, just put some glue around the edge, and I'm just going to stick that in position before I go any farther. Slide it underneath there. I can slide those out, but I'm going to stick that down first. And then I'm just going to tease the ones that were underneath, just tease them out. Come on out for daddy. Oh, you're being a divvy now, come on. There you go. Good idea to do that first. So I'm just lifting that out. There you go. So now that should stop moving around. Just position it proper. There you go. And then it's just a question of doing what Anne's doing there, just layering up. Now, do you find with the holly that you're adding on there, are you sticking to the design, or are you slightly off-centering them, or sticking them randomly?
At the moment I'm sticking to the design, but I think I'll probably offset them a little bit in a minute.
Okay.
One thing I found is that I have to be careful, particularly with this big one, which way up it goes. But most
See,
of
what
them
you
kind
could
of fit.
do, I'm not showing you what to do, but you could, if you wanted, slightly have it like that.
Oh, I could, couldn't
Or
I?
you could have it just added down there, so you've got an extra
Yeah.
one.
Oh, that's a nice
You
idea.
can put it coming underneath there, so you
Yeah.
can build it out, so you can change the design,
Be creative.
be creative. So, you know, it's up to you. You've got plenty of bits and pieces there
Yeah.
to play with.
Oh, well, I'll just start having some fun and moving things around. then.
You have fun there. If you
I
want to
will.
come back to me, then you can see what I'm doing. I'm adding the next one on. And that's going down there. Like so. And I've got the next one. Oh, I've not taken all the pads off these yet. I'll tell you what, we'll carry on doing this, and we'll let you get on with what you're doing, and we will foregather
Foregather. That's a good one as well.
a little bit later on. So you carry on with your 3D-ing, and we'll carry on with ours, and I'll see what it looks like. And don't forget, if you do finish any, send us some pictures. All right, see you later, Chucks.
Right, welcome back everybody. Here we have pretty much a finished bird. I've put all my holly in roundabout. I've layered up all the wings. I've layered up the head there. I think the creative bit was deciding where to put all the holly around it. It's a little bit different from the one I did
Sure,
before.
see if we can see, everybody can see the 3D
Okay.
effect. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you see the 3D effect? That's brilliant. So from doing that, you could cut that square, you could add that to a card, you can turn it into a picture, you can do all sorts of different
You
things.
could, yeah.
You could even add a little bit of glitter or snow onto the leaves, or but it gives that lovely effect. If you want to come back to me, I'll have a look and show you this. I've been in the middle of doing the picture frame here. That's as far as I've got at the moment. And I'm turning my twig into a veritable bush. So I've got all my pieces here, and I'm just going to randomly add them. And I find if you just tuck them underneath there, they kind of blend in a little bit better. So do you think, I think I'll continue my bush out this way.
Looks good.
Let's go there. It's difficult doing it upside down. Well, that's what the vicar said anyway. That can go there. Maybe there. I can't really tell. I'm just going to have a swing around. There you go. I think that's looking all right.
That's looking good, yeah. I like the way you've got it coming over the edges of the frame.
Yeah, I like that. It's kind
That's
of.
good.
I love it when if it gives that kind of. It also helps with the 3D look. So you've got like the basic picture, but it's spilling out.
Yes, it
spilling
feels
out.
like it's coming out towards you.
It does. This is where I overdo it. I'm just turning it around so I can just try and stop myself. I think maybe there.
A bit there, yeah.
That's spilling out, and I've got a couple of the.
The berries.
Berries. Now the berries don't have to go exactly where they were, so I want to create more berries. Maybe join those up there like that.
That
A
looks
few
good.
more extra berries. Where do you think you can choose, Anne? Where do you think?
Ooh, right, what have you got? Is it a 2 or a 3 berry you've got?
A double two. What
A double
about something
2.
like
Yeah,
that?
up there would be good.
Is that good?
Yeah,
I've got the official demonstrator's approval.
absolutely.
I'm adding there. So you can mix and match like that, you see. So if you have a look at Anne's and then have a look at mine, you can see from the basic technique there, Anne's is going to turn into whatever she wants to do with it. With she can even do this.
Well, I think I'll probably make it into a Christmas card.
Yes, a Christmas card.
Yep.
So it's mine. So I just want to show you some options you've got. So there's the frame. Now you can put that straight up to it like that. So you've got it in the frame, which looks lovely. Or you could put some little pieces of foam just on the inside there. So it gives you, so you could put the glass in first, and then that will be slightly lower down.
That looks good.
So it looks like that. So you've got the glass, because if you don't put the glass in, you're going to be forever dusting it. But I think it looks good. So let's have a little playette. I'm not going to stick it completely now. But also the other alternative is that you've got your board here, and you put that underneath. You put your glass in and fix it, and then you put that over the top, and the picture is at the back there, so it's the background. So you've got the glass, that's in position, and then you've got the whole of that. So that's another option you can do. So there's various options. I think I'll do that actually. Let me put the glass in. Or I do like that as well, halfway up. I don't know, it's entirely up to you. I'm going to do it with the glass in, so you might as well stop with me. Polish it up. That's going to go in there first. And then I'm going to put the little tags down like that. Just keep it in position. Like so. Come on, down you go. I'm just going to do those 2 for now. I better do them all.
Don't
Knowing
want your
me.
glass falling out.
Don't want my glass falling out, no. I need to polish it, so I'm not going to fix it completely. So there's the glass. And then this, what I would do is, that can go in just like that, if you want to. And that goes there. And then you could just put some masking tape around here so it keeps it in position. Then you've got that kind of effect. Or you could take some masking tape and put it on the back and have it further down so it's more flat. So anyway, the options are yours. Now I've noticed on this one, like that, if I notice on that one, come on, in you go. You can see the tag, so I would take a pair of pliers and just snip those off a little bit. Or let me just try another option. I'm going to take that down. Just for now, you can play around and come up what feels good for you. Got my piece of glass in there. I'm going to put my bird in. Make sure I've got that the right way around, so if I want to stand it, I can do. That can go in there, that can go in there. And then I'm going to seal it behind. So I'll just press that. Oh, my glasses are coming off. So let me just have a go. You see, this is all about being creative. I'm going to bend one side down, and for now, it should be able to bend. It might look quite good. I don't know. It might look terrible. Where's it gone?
Only one way to find out.
There is. You got to lift that up. That can go down there. I'm sorry, you can't see it, can you? Anyway, I need to. Oh, there you go. Let's figure it. So I just need to. Come on. Where's it gone? There it is. Then that can just bend down like that. I'm just going to do the 2 for now. So you turn that over, and you've got your bird in there. I don't think that looks too bad, does
That
it?
looks great.
So that's just an ordinary, inexpensive frame, but you could do different ones. That'd be nice for Christmas.
A whole
see.
set of them.
You can add a little bit. Even that is, you've not much depth there, has it?
No.
So, but it still looks
But it
good.
looks good.
If I fold that down, I'm going to have to unfold it in a bit anyway because I need to clean my glass. I need to jiggle or poke it around a bit. So there it is in a frame. You can do it whichever way you want to do it. And there's Anne's. So if you want to carry on making that into a card, you're welcome to. What time is it now? Are we doing?
It is
11:30. Okay, well we're kind of a bit ahead of schedule. If we maybe when we finished at the end there, we've got our group in the other room there having a go. So maybe we'll come back at the end and show you. Maybe not. But anyway, I'll put the pictures on and what we've made at the end. So well done, Anne.
Thank you.
You did very good.
Thank you.
You're on your own
Will you
next
let me
week.
back?
Yeah, anytime. Sit in anytime you want. Don't forget, we're here in Perth. Anybody who's passing through, anybody's in the Perth district, if you want to come on a Saturday morning, you're very welcome. Obviously, you're all over the world now watching, so you can watch at any time you want. You can also go to alanandbarry.co.uk. If you go into the search, you put in Get Creative, there's a whole section there. It's got its own TV channel, and you've got all the past demonstrations that we've done and all the free downloads there as well. All you've got to do is put your email on there, which we don't use for promotional periods. Purposes is
Purposes.
Thanks, miss.
That's okay.
So it's just there for you to have a tester. Anyway, we'll see you next week, hopefully. Say ta-ra, Anne.
Ta-ra.
So it's goodbye from me.
Sorry. Goodbye.
Ta-ra.